Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's traditional style beer night. Which one are we going for tonight? It's this one. It is Barnsley Bitter from Acorn Brewery. And it's one that I've been meaning to try for absolutely ages, but not seen it anywhere down here in the West Midlands. I went up to see my mum in North Yorkshire a few weeks back now, and moseying around the shops as you do, I spotted it, so I bought some. And yeah, it's a 3.8% ABV bitter. It's described as rich chestnut malty ale. It's been brewed in Barnsley from Acorn Brewery since 2003. And it's got on the back a little bit of information, not a lot. You've got water, malted barley, hops, and yeast as your ingredients. Your malts are Maris Otter Crystal and Pale Chocolate. Your hops are UK Challenger hops, and it is described as, I say, chestnut-coloured, bitter, malty, and spicy. It's 1.9 units in the bottle for those who are interested in that sort of thing. I am, because I'm only allowed a few a week. And yeah, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. Now, I first saw this video on this beer on a video by Swiggin Steve's Bargain Beer Reviews. Check out his channel. He's got some great beers, all at sensible prices and available for most people in many places. And as soon as I saw it and he described it, I wanted it. So I finally got one. So Steve, this one's thanks to you. So the pour into my Titanic glass is... It's a nice colour. See if we can encourage a bit of a head. What can we get going? There we are. So, it is deep amber in colour, almost chestnut and mahogany. It's got a nice off-white head that's relatively tight and compact, and you've got good carbonation rolling up from the nucleation points at the bottom of the glass. It's a decent looking pint of beer. It reminds me of those sweets that you used to have as a kid. You had the lager ones and you had the bitter ones, and this just looks like the bitter ones. It's the right colour. Yeah, and it's clear as a bell. So it's a great looking pint. It inspires flavour from the appearance. So let's go for a whiff. Oh, that smells nice. The chocolate malt's really coming through. Sweet. Slight berry notes on the back end. The Challenger hops doing their thing. Slight little bit of bitterness on there. But the chocolate malt really is prominent. That's really quite surprising. It just smells like a classic old school bitter with loads of flavour. So it looks great. It smells divine. It's not massively strong on the aroma, but what is there is delicious. Let's have a taste. Cheers. That is nice. That is nice. You've got a lovely body to it. It's medium. Mouthfeel is soft and smooth. There is a bit of carbonation coming through. That's really, really nice. Then the malts sing. The malts are delicious, and the bitterness from the hops sits right behind it. It's so well balanced. Oh, it's delicious. There is a slight pepperiness to it, and I love it. And there's so much flavour for only 3.8%. So much flavour. Just imagine how good this will be on cask. You let it sit on your tongue, and that flavour just develops and develops and develops. Like I say, it starts hoppy, then malts, and then just glorious little bit of bitterness. It's one of the most bitter bitters that I've ever had, and it's really damn fine. It rivals a lot of stronger bitters for flavour. Oh, I need to go back to Yorkshire and get more of this. The back end is bitter, smooth, hoppy, malty. It's just divine. There's a little bit of dried sort of dark fruit on the back end as well. And that kind of comes through on the nose as well with those berry notes. That's a cracking pint of beer. Absolutely cracking. Well, it's a 500ml bottle of beer. It's not quite a pint, but we're not going to split too many hairs tonight. Because Acorn Brewery, the famous crafted Barnsley bitter, it says on the front. Rich chestnut malty ale. It's definitely malty. But what do I think of it? Well, I think it's really quite nice. Let's go to the scoreboard of joy from Untapped, shall we, first of all, which says there have been 4,000 check-ins with an average score of 3.44. I somehow think that 3.44 is a little bit on the low side for me. So we're going to give it some points. And we all know points mean prizes. My brother, when he was younger, bless him, he used to think points on your driving licence meant prizes. No, Steve. No, that's not the case. Anyway, he also thought FMBs were furry moon boots, but that's another story again. Anyway, Barnsley Bitter. What do I think of you? Well, let's have a look at it again. It's a lovely colour. The head, whilst it has pretty much dissipated, it's a lovely colour. It was a good consistency. And you know that if that was poured from a traditional beer engine with a sparkler, that head would be nice and creamy and sticking around and lacing up that glass like Billy-O. It's a damn good looking pint of beer. Can I fault it? No. I love it. It's a great looking pint of beer. The aromas, whilst not the strongest, are really, really nice. Like I say, the chocolate malt comes through so prominently. I've never had that on a bitter before. Just a slight creamy cocoa coming through. Ahead of, and then behind the malts, so behind the hops. And the hops just bring the spiciness and the pepperiness. It's really nice. There's a hint of coffee as well. Just a tiniest hint. But yeah. It could do with being a smidgen stronger. But I'm really, really splitting hairs on that one. That's the only hair splitting I'm going to do. I'm going to give it the full point because it is so nice for what there is. The body is great. You know, if it was delivered, like I say, from a beer engine, it would be perfect. It would just be utterly creamy and delicious. From the bottle, it's still decent. Like I say, it's medium weight. It's got a nice smooth carbonation and mouthfeel. Can I fault it? I can't. I'm going to be honest, I can't. And the taste, we're not going to beat around the bush here. It's delicious. It's got so much flavour for only 3.8% ABV. The malts are divine. Like I say, the chocolate flavours come through. Then you've got a sweetness from the malts. You've got beautiful Challenger hops. And then it fades away into glorious bitterness. I think we know what I'm going to give it. And the finish. The finish. Oh, the finish. I'm going to be sad when this one's finished. That's what I'm going to say. It's bitter on the back end. That's all you need to know. And it's moreish. Two things. Those are the two things you need to know apart from this. It's going to get a full point from me, which means I'm giving it the full 5 out of 5. It's a great beer. It is a great beer, ladies and gents, boys and girls. And if you haven't tried it, you really should. I can't believe it took me so long to find it. And now I'm 3.5 hours away from my nearest source that I know of. So it looks as though I'm going to have to order plenty online and then go and see my mother again and buy more. You know, because it's really, really good. I'll have to sample some other things that Acorn do. So, Acorn Brewery, thank you for this famous crafted Barnsley bitter. That's been the beer. I've been Nick. Those are the buttons. You know exactly what to do. Have a fantastic Sunday evening, and I'll see you again soon for another video next week.